So today's episode is really going to stay on the theme of lessons I learned in interviewing 1,000 women. So as you guys know, I was a normal woman living in Milwaukee selling copiers. I stumbled into PUA content, red pill content, men's rights content, and it really changed my perspective on the world. And I ended up going to England to play semi-pro volleyball. YouTube was just a side thing that I did. And while I was in England, I did a show talking about a lot of these topics to my friends on the volleyball team, or I would meet in London. I didn't know a single person, and I ended up interviewing 1,000 people. And interviewing 1,000 people completely changed my perspective. So I wrote an article about my experience in this. So I'm going to have to read it off of my laptop. I wish we had a teleprompter. We don't yet, but, sign up to the website. We might be able to get one. But before we do, I want to show the content that was popular at the time. So at the time I started my channel, this was when Fresh and Fit was blowing up. Kevin Samuels was huge. Andrew Tate was blowing up. And the topic of cheating came up a lot. And there was a Kevin Samuels stream. And I remember watching this with my boyfriend at the time. And it was called High Value Men Cheat. And I was like, no, don't listen to that. I also remember this was one of the first episodes I saw of him. And I'm going to get into that when I read the article. But to start, I want to show you guys the videos.
Because we have to have a real serious subject. And what is that? One, high value men cheat. They cheat. Simply that. They cheat. Why? Well, when you're in the top 10% of all mankind from a value standpoint, and again, understand from a length of money standpoint, from being acknowledged by other men that you are of value, by having a network of high value men and other people, by being visible and having a network of high value men and being useful to others in the group. Ladies, understand, what about you makes you think that a man that's that valuable, that 90% of the females on the planet would love to sniff his beard? What makes you think he's going to go out and slay the Minotaur and fight Cerberus? What do you think he's going to get out and fight Cerberus and do all these things to come home and just be loyal to you? Oh. Let's go ahead and dispense with this. Miss me with God. I was raised in the Bible Belt and I was baptized at 5. I'm going to have an entire broadcast on the disingenuous nature in which how so much of Christianity is marketed today. But just go back to Solomon. How many wives did he have? What did David do with Bathsheba?
So oftentimes when this is said, and it's tough not to because, we're raised in a Christian country. Most people were brought up with some sort of religion. Morality is always applied to it. Oh, well, it shouldn't be like that. It's wrong. It shouldn't. But we don't live in Make-A-Wish. This isn't, a world where you can just wish for things to be true. There's a reason that presidents, politicians are always getting caught in affairs. There's a reason A-list Hollywood actors don't really have a reputation for staying faithful, okay? So I'll keep going a little bit.
Understand something, ladies. Men with power, men of value, cheat because they should. And see, a lot of you ladies aren't going to like what I have to say, but I don't really give a French toast doggone. Because when you are in the top 10% of men and almost 100% of women want you, just like Pringles, you can't just eat one or Lay's or whatever.
Okay, so that content was going viral. So I'm just giving you guys a point of view. This was another one.
Women don't respect men with no hose. Bro, look a girl in the eyes and you fuck her, tell her you're gonna cheat on her. She loves it. Bro, man, they don't respect a man. They don't respect a man with no hose.
She goes on it. She was like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You don't got no hose, I don't want that nigga anyway.
I remember watching this 3-4 years ago and I was triggered. I thought, no, not all women are like that. No. Come on, that's not true.
Like, no hose, no me.
No woman wants the man that no other woman wants. So
that is true.
So women try this idea of, well, I want a man that I know all the women want, but then he doesn't want them back. And that ain't real, right? So the guys, that ain't real. So what I'm saying is what Will Smith did is he put himself in the position where he had no power and he got abused. And my point is this: when I said that the idea of being with one woman forever is going to be torturous, I'm not even talking about the fact that I don't get sexual variety. I'm talking about the fact that I cannot see myself 5 years down the line being in a position of power within my own life and household. I want a position of power. If someone breaks, bro, if I'm walking down the street with my chick and someone pulls a weapon and I have to fucking deal with him and I end up getting a fucking manslaughter charge, for example, I don't want her fucking, she's gonna jump on a new dick and I'm gonna sell. No, I need to have a position of power and control, and I need to know she's loyal to me for life. That's what I want. You're not gonna have that if you ain't got hoes.
Hey,
So I'm gonna read you what I wrote about how my opinion changed on this. Okay, so there are many people who have made hit pieces on me at this point. Pretty much every liberal streamer on the planet and liberal woman on TikTok. There are a million TikToks psychoanalyzing me as to why I think how I do. It is an interesting feeling being so controversial because in real life I'm pretty easygoing. Most people are surprised by my work, and most people wouldn't have even known I was that conservative. But today I am going to tell you why I have the opinions I do because these reaction channels don't. One of the first lessons I learned getting into media is that being honest leaves you hated and lying is much easier. That is why we have a demonetized channel, and I have to tell you to support my work at theaudacitynetwork.com. I have not watched a hit piece of myself in a long time, but I'm aware of their criticism. One stance I am criticized for fairly often is my stance on cheating. I've said things like women love to get cheated on or high-value men cheat. When I first entered the online space, I definitely did not have this opinion. I thought it was detestable, actually. One of the first Kevin Samuels videos actually triggered me on the same thing. I was just a normal woman living my life, doing reaction YouTube videos as a side project while I worked a sales job. I used to react to rap music when one day someone sent me a Kevin Samuels video titled High Value Men Cheat to react to. Kevin Samuels had a call-in show where women would call in and ask him relationship questions. I remember a woman called into the Kevin Samuels show saying that she had ended her marriage because her husband cheated. Kevin Samuels told her that it was her who messed up. I could not believe it. He was the one who cheated. Why was Kevin Samuels saying that she messed up? I am fairly certain I called Kevin Samuels a douchebag at the time. How could he say that she messed up when he cheated? I fought this tooth and nail. I did not think it was true. I even went on Fresh and Fit and argued with Myron that he was wrong about it. High-value men don't have the right to cheat. What on earth is he talking about? But why did I think he was wrong? I think I have to give a little bit of my background first. I'm one of 10 children from the suburbs of Chicago, and my dad was a businessman who would have fit Kevin Samuels' description of a high value. My dad was the best person I know, and there's no one I give higher praise to. He's the type of person I wish I was a better person just by being around. He always thinks of others before himself. He never drank, never smoked, and has been married 30 years. When Kevin Samuels said high-value men cheat, I thought of my father, and like a woman, I took it personal, even if it wasn't about me, and I was convinced he was wrong. But the real world catches up with you fast. Exceptions don't make the rule. I moved on from my sales job and decided to pursue a professional volleyball career in London. I still had my small YouTube channel on the side, and I thought red pill content was so interesting. And frankly, I sought to prove some of the ideas wrong, that I decided to host a panel show with my teammates. I would recruit women from my team to come on my show after practice and give their thoughts on marriage and relationships. The show grew to be one of the biggest shows in the United States at the time. I interviewed 1,000 men and women about culture and relationships. The interesting thing about doing a show like that is you not only see what people say on the show, but you also get to know people personally and see what they do behind the scenes. Again, when I started, I did not think that high-value men automatically cheated. But unfortunately, during these interviews, the real world hit me harder than I wanted to believe. There was a man who came on my show fairly often with typical conservative talking points. Degeneracy is bad, blah, blah, blah. He would tell me that high-value men should not cheat. It was wrong. The usual talking points, and I agreed. Wow, this guy is great. The thing that I saw that other people did not see on screen was that I would get information about who was dating who behind the scenes. As you know, people talk. And when you come to find out that most of these guys that say that are all cap. Occasionally, there's one that has religious convictions, but usually the men that happen to have religious convictions are not attractive enough to get women. To be fair, this is most men. Women have delusionally high standards, but it just is what it is. The conservative men that were saying these talking points, I find out, are dating multiple women on the show. He's talking about how cheating is wrong, but doing the exact same thing. He would probably say that none of it was serious, but I see this as a workaround. These guys usually casually date multiple women as a workaround so they can still view themselves as moral. I will casually sleep with multiple women and then shame the men who do it in relationships. I do not want to confuse you guys at all. I am not saying that what he was doing was wrong. I am not saying he was wrong for that. What I am saying is that everything is cap. The lack of information does not show the full story. This was a turning point for me. Myron, Andrew Tate, and the other red pill content creators were the ones being honest, and they were crucified for it, where the men who lie were celebrated. Myron was the one telling the truth. From my experience doing the show, who is loyal? Number one, the men who do not have the social skills to attract women. These are men that are maybe good looking, but don't know how to flirt or build attraction with women. 2, the men who are not aware how many hot young women they could attract. These are men that married young, maybe worked a lot, but never experienced the degenerate lifestyle. Usually these men have been in long-term relationships their whole life or are over a certain age. 3, the men who have to be and have no other choice. Generally, the men on these shows talking about how men cheating are dogs do not have the social skills to cheat, and it's obvious. How does a man come to have multiple women? Ladies, I want to explain something that most men did not start off this way. Let me demonstrate this story with an example from a friend of mine. I have a male friend who I've known for a couple of years. Since I have known him, he has always been a one-woman man, long-term relationships. However, recently he started dating multiple women at the same time. Nothing serious but casual. He says this is the best treatment he's ever received. Women treat him better when they are sharing him versus when he is giving one his full attention. In this situation, what incentive does my friend have to be faithful? The second issue we have is that in order for men to keep a woman in 2024, he has to learn how to talk to her, where to meet women, and do a million things in order to be attractive to us. We have no idea the level of work that men go through in order to become attractive and give us the butterflies. He has to go through all of this trouble in order to be able to attract women. The issue you get is men that have acquired the skill of attracting women, which are the men that give you butterflies, are generally not going to stay faithful over long periods of time. Sure, they may do it for a couple years, but at some point they're going to crack. By the way, ladies, unless you're a virgin on your wedding day, you also cracked, so this is not a moral statement, but a probability. If he goes through the trouble of learning those social skills, generally they are incredibly difficult to tie down. So pick your poison, ladies. A man who does not give you butterflies or a man who does not cheat. Most women can't get both. Now, when women hear this, I tend to get 3 responses. 1, I don't like cheaters. 2, shaming men, calling them bad in some way, or 3, I am not like that and I am different than the other girls. Many times women will come on the shows and say that they like nice guys and that they do not date cheaters. I hate to inform you, but generally these women are virtue signaling. I am a good person because I do not date cheaters. In reality, most women have dated a cheater. Usually though, when I would ask a couple more questions, I would find out that the women who said that they did not like cheaters tend to dump their non-cheating boyfriends. The women who stay with their cheating boyfriends until they stop cheating. Usually this would be about 6 months after they catch him cheating. Or 3, they say things like, I knew he was cheating, or my female intuition told me he was cheating. Well, then I ask the question, why were you with him if you don't like cheaters? So what am I supposed to conclude, fellas? A good proportion of women love to be cheated on. I would suggest that it is the majority. Sure, there are unicorns and exceptions, but they do not make the rule. So what did I know? What did I learn from this experience? The men saying cheating is wrong usually can't get women, or are lying, or are afraid of their wives. The women that say they do not date cheaters have stayed with cheaters. Everyone is lying. The men that tell the truth are crucified for it, and maybe both genders just like to be lied to. So, is that, guys, let me know in the chat, is that unfair? And the issue is, a lot of times when you grow up thinking one thing is true, and I'm confronted with another reality, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to change my opinion or just believe what I believe regardless of what people are telling me?
Don't disrespect the player. Here's the problem. I don't know why you ladies believe as though if you want a high value man, ladies, you're going to have to praise him publicly, respect, and accept. You're going to have to, you're going to have to accept that you ain't going to be the only one. You may be the number one, but at best, you're number 3. He's first, his purpose is second, you're third. Let's get into it, ladies. Let's get into it, because now the scales have been removed from some of your eyes to where you understand that there are no perfect men. And the higher up a man goes, the more options he has. And it is natural and human to want to exercise those options. I said it. Men who sit around talking about they walk this moral path are lying to you.
Guys, I am telling you, I promise they are lying. They will, guys, I have heard them. They will say it on shows. They will do this whole speech. And after, I can see them. Oh, we were just saying that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, right? I'm not saying there aren't high value men or men in the top 10% that don't cheat. What I am saying is that generally their social skills are so bad that they can't, or they're lying. Occasionally you get a religious one, but I've even seen the religious ones crack over time. Forever is a long time. Forever. I mean, what, we're going to live to be 80? Did you guys know that the number one place STDs spread is nursing homes? You're going to be fighting off women until you're in the nursing home, So again, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. But what I am saying is that it's the exception, it's not the rule.
More often than not, there are men who choose to abstain from relations with other women. But understand, it is a choice. But it is crazy for modern women to think those men should have to do it. If you have to have a man that's loyal to you, get an average man. Or actually get a below average man. But if you want the tippy top, the best of the best, be prepared to share. My question is this: why did women of the past openly accept this? Why do women of the past openly accept this? Because they understood that I would rather live in a stone fortress with plenty of meat and vegetables and protection than live on the plains with that other guy.